The price only you see. This has probably happened to you. You look at your screen, and the price of a flight appears like an invitation, almost a promise. And on the other side of that same site, your friend sees a number that feels like a wall. If you've ever felt like something didn't add up there, I want you to know something right away. You didn't imagine it. You weren't being paranoid or overreacting. Something real was happening behind that screen. And today, we're going to look at it together. No jargon, like uncovering a card that's been sitting face down for a while. Because this isn't an airline glitch. It's an algorithm that, in the blink of an eye, calculated how much you were willing to give up, and how much your friend was. And I know it feels a little uncomfortable to hear it put so plainly. It felt that way to me too, the first time I really understood it. But I'd rather tell you clearly, because knowing it is what gives you back control. For years, we were taught that price was almost mathematical. Cost plus profit equals price. A calm, predictable equation. Today, that logic isn't enough to explain what you see on screen. Behavioral economics isn't just selling you a product. It's reading your moment, your urgency, your state of mind, and adjusting the number based on what it senses in you. When urgency goes up, the price goes up. And the sad part is that often we don't even realize we're in a hurry until the algorithm has already noticed for us. Think of Anna. She needs to get to a meeting in 30 minutes, and her heart is already racing from the stress of the day. The same ride service that would cost her $15 on a calm day jumps to $30 today. It's not that the trip changed. Her need changed, and something or someone was watching. I don't want this to make you paranoid, just clear-eyed. There are very specific signals the system uses, and it's worth knowing them. The device you use is one of them. A high-end phone is often linked to greater purchasing power, so the algorithm may adjust the offer assuming you can pay more. Battery level is another. When your phone shows 5% and you're urgently looking for a ride, the system reads that as a vulnerable moment, and that's exactly when some fares climb. Every search, every click, every minute you hesitate on the screen builds a profile trying to guess how much you're willing to pay. If you've ever noticed the same flight costing something different than it did for a friend, you've already seen this in action, even if you didn't have a name for it. I'd genuinely love to know if something similar has happened to you. Tell me in the comments. I mean that, not as a statistic, but because every story helps someone else recognize it too. And here's the part I most want you to sit with calmly, because it touches something very human: our fear of missing out. When the screen says, "Only 2 seats left at this price," that's not a coincidence. It's a calculation designed to catch you at the exact moment you're most likely to decide fast, without comparing. Every second you spend there, the system is watching. Whether your cursor lingers over the buy button, whether you hesitate, whether you leave and come back. All of that feeds a decision that, many times, has already been made for you, before you finish thinking it through. This isn't a reflection on you. It's a reflection of the fact that we're human, and that urgency and the feeling of, "this is about to run out," activate something very deep in our brains: the fear of being left out. That's not weakness. That's biology, being used against you by a design that knows exactly where to press. The good news, and I want this to be the thing you take away above everything else, is that understanding the game already gives you a real advantage. You don't need to be a tech expert to protect yourself. Just a few simple habits. Open a private browsing window before searching for anything important. That keeps your history from feeding the profile the system builds on you. Clear your cookies regularly. Every trace you leave behind is another clue for whoever's calculating your price. Compare across more than one device if you can. A phone and a computer, for example. You'll be surprised how much the number can change just from that. And if you want to go a step further, a VPN that simulates a different location sometimes shows different prices, because the system adjusts based on the purchasing power it associates with each place. Turning off GPS when you don't need it also cuts down on the signals feeding the equation. One more simple trick. Search during quiet hours, like early in the morning, when demand is lower. Sometimes the difference is simply in when. One more simple trick. Search during quiet hours, like early in the morning, when demand is lower. Sometimes the difference is simply in when you ask, not in what you're asking for. I want you to walk away with this more than any of the tricks. The number on your screen isn't a fixed value or an absolute truth. It's an offer built for the exact moment you're looking at it, shaped by your urgency, your tiredness, your need. And it's okay if that feels a little unsettling, because it touches something real about being read without your permission. But now you know, and knowing changes the relationship. Next time a price tries to rush you, give yourself a second before deciding. Ask yourself if it's the real cost or your own urgency dressed up as a number. If this was useful to you, or if something like what happened to Anna has happened to you too, tell me in the comments. I'd like this to become a conversation, not a monologue from me. And if you think someone else could use this before their next big purchase, share it with them. Sometimes the most valuable thing we can give someone is exactly this: a little clarity before they decide. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. See you in the next video.